Hello, my name is Damoho and welcome to Unashamedly Her YouTube channel. I've missed saying this. We've been trying to meet, but calendars haven't been really just coming together, and I'm glad that we're finally doing this. So this is our third episode this year, and I really just wanted to highlight women in business, women just doing it for themselves. And in fact, we should have had that intro song, Sisters are doing it for themselves. I don't know how young. I don't know.
I know the song. I actually know the song.
Senze yipi. Wathinta abafazi. Oh no.
We're not Bogotans. Let's stick to sisters.
Oh, okay, cool.
Chinese Asian.
Chinese agent. Which one? Independent. Yes.
That would be intense.
Yeah.
That would be so intense.
I found a nice clip, and I think it was Jill Scott, and it's beautiful. I'll play it for you. But I was like, you see, now this is woman's. This is the one. Yeah. This is the one. It honestly just described anything woman empowerment, women development. Yeah. It's so beautiful.
Yeah,
welcome. I will allow the ladies to introduce themselves. I will not do it because I might just ruin the whole thing. So I'll hand over to you to introduce yourself, and then we can start. But this episode and the chat really is about discussion on these are entrepreneurs. I'm sitting here with businesswomen who are doing stuff they're passionate about, something they knew that they've always wanted to do and grow in. And so we're here to hear the story and to be encouraged. How does one how does a young lady out there who's sitting and wants to actually step out of the 9-to-5, the corporate world, or step out on their own just after school and do their own thing, is business the in thing? I remember registering a company because everyone was doing it. not because I actually had some idea of what running a business entails. But I can't wait to hear your stories. So you can Nthabi, you can start first. You can start first, whichever one.
All right, I'm Nthabi Tseeke. But those that know me call me Nthabi, which is also fine. I'm a fashion designer, and on the side as well, I do experience-led things. So picnics, hikes, anything really just to get the person out the house doing something. And it's mainly things that I enjoy. But I studied fashion as well, to go back to my profession. Studied fashion at DUT. I dropped out in my second year, but that's fine. That's me. 30, if you must know my age. And
Did you drop out because you wanted to drop out? Why? Was it because you didn't enjoy it?
I loved it. I enjoyed it. Absolutely enjoyed it. It was very personal things.
Okay.
Very personal. And that's also, but we'll get to that later. Mm-hmm. But I'm grateful for that period that happened, leading me to dropping out, because it helped me address a number of issues. Yeah. And if I hadn't addressed them, I wouldn't be here.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was all good. It was all very nice. But that's me.
Lovely.
Hi everyone, my name is Londeka Dlamini. I am the founder of Izinga Creative Media. So what else do I have to add?
You are a mom.
I am a mom to 2 amazing kids. And I absolutely love being a mother. It's very tricky sometimes being a mom, a single mom. I'm kind of don't like that term because it kind of makes you seem like you're a little island, and I have a really good community around me. But it is challenge being a working mom, having your own business, and trying to do the so-called balancing act. But I absolutely love what I do. I do everything creative, even though I have to kind of narrow it down for my company profile, because I think a lot of people don't understand that, like, creative thinking is just creative thinking.
Yeah.
Like, if you're creative, you're creative, which is why I love what you're saying, that you're a fashion designer, but you do experiences, because we need to kind of open our minds and open the way we see professions and what we do, to not be so linear, but to be more horizontal, where you do as many things
as you can, and I think
with your skill.
we live in a time as well that allows you to be 10 things at the same time.
Yes.
If you are in, I know this one lady, she's a banker.
Yes.
But she loves coffee. So now she's starting up her own coffee shop, and she's linking up with people, and she's using her experience in finance to make sure that, this venture that she's going into it becomes what it needs to be.
Yeah.
So, hey, we're not in 1950 anymore, where if I'm a banker, I'm a banker. If I'm a lawyer, I'm a lawyer. The world's our oyster. You can do whatever you want to do. Yeah. As long as you're not killing people.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, killing people.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
So, anyway, thank you for the opportunity.
Yes.
Looking forward
So
to
speaking
this.
of coffee, we are actually chilling at Bike and Bean. I think all my episodes have been shot here. This is just a different part of it. There's different shots that we've taken with the last 2 episodes, and this is a different shot. But Bike and Bean is doing something amazing, so stay tuned. I think this September, they're launching something big, in fact. So I really hope that if you're in Durban, for those who are out of the province, will come in and check them out. And for those who are here, definitely do check it out. Did you know this place?
I didn't.
I knew it,
Yeah.
but I've never been. I always go to, I won't say it.
Oh, yeah. the other one. The other one. Okay, cool.
No.
Let's start. So I'll be looking at my phone because I have the questions on my phone.
Then you should know them off by heart.
How dare you not know them off by heart?
Oh, gosh.
So tell me a bit about yourselves and your childhood, and the character traits that stand out that you can see them play now in your business growth. And the reason I say that is, I think since I became a mom, I've just been so, I don't want to say obsessed, but a lot of content that I'm consuming is content on just child psychology, how you grow, that the environments that you grow in actually influence, who you become. And that's why I wanted to start with this question of what are some of your childhood memories and childhood traits that you look at, or that they've told you about, where you're like, in fact, I see this play out now that I'm grown, in a good way. You find people who are like, oh no, you didn't used to, you didn't smile a lot and stuff like that, or you were a bit assertive in everything that you did. But as they grow and they get into whether the corporate world or do their own thing, then they end up really just being amazing leaders, and being so decisive, and not all over the place. So what is, whether it's one or two, one of the trait where you're like, actually this has played a role.
I can think of a few, actually. As you've been talking, I'm like, actually that. Okay, so I was a reader. Like, I would read and write. I remember in grade 1, I bought a little A6 book, and I wrote my own story, and on each page there was like a couple of lines, and I drew a picture, and like I finished the whole thing, and it was like a story, So being able to read has helped me a lot, like in terms of creativity.
Yeah.
I could just read a book and just get lost in it completely. And like I've read everything, guys, like how-to books. There were these DK books that used to be at the libraries, how to do this, how to do that. And a lot of what I'm doing in my business are things that I can't go and get a degree on because it's so new. Like, you know, it's well, now I think you can get like a coding degree and a digital marketing degree, but it's only till recently. Up until now, all you had was the internet and to learn by reading and finding things out. So I think that trait of just being able to apply my mind, and that really helped a lot. The second one is talkative. I talk. I can talk. Like every report, it would be like, Londeka, you know, like, but she talks a lot.
Yeah.
So it kind of has helped me because it's, you know, and it's something maybe I became very ashamed of and like conscious of and spoke less.
Yeah.
But now being in business,
Yeah.
it's something that I actually rely on, being able to make conversations with people, be able to connect with people, because I find it very easy.
Yeah.
And it's something that I think that my childhood always just like cultivated, being allowed to express myself, and, you know, growing in a household where it was encouraged, you know. So now being in the communication space, I have amazing contacts simply because I talk a lot. And if we were in class together, you will know me because I came up to you and I was like, hi, what's your name?
Oh, you're that kid.
So those are the two I can think of. I can talk and name them all.
Yeah.
But I'll give Nthabi a chance.
I think a trait that my mom also points out a lot is my ability to adapt. I've always been able to adapt in any situation. And I think when she was like, when I was young, I think I was 3 or something, and she was like, hey, this child. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, this child. When she was going through her separation with my dad. And I remember she'd always say, I want to leave this man. But you know how parents will talk thinking a child is not listening.
Yeah.
You know, or a child is not observing what's going on.
Yes.
And I said to Mama, he's left the house now.
We can go. Oh my God.
She looked at me like, what do you know? Anyway, needless, we packed our bags and we left. But just moving from that situation and understanding which, okay, cool, now we're in a space where we need to get going.
Yeah.
And I've always been in that space where if you put me in this environment, my mind is there. And if you put me in another environment, my mind is also there. So, and even with business as well, there's months where it's dry. And your mind now needs to work around these 5 friends that I have. And your entire lifestyle needs to adapt to those 5 friends, you know. So in that sense, I'm grateful for Leo, even though it wasn't packaged very well. It was a horrible package. But it's helped me adapt. Okay, cool, this is where we are, so my mind needs to switch to this. This is what I'm doing now, so this has to happen, you know. Another thing, character trait, is I laugh a lot. I smile a lot. And that has helped me. Like sometimes a customer will come and you can just see, hey, lo mama lo. Like just trying to talk to her, get anything out of it is going to be a mission.
Yeah.
But how you present yourself to that person and just breaking the ice with a smile. The person will give you their whole life just because you've presented a warm environment for that person. So those are the 2 things where I'm like, okay, Nthabi, you're winning if you've got these 2 and you stick with these 2.
Yeah.
You'll go somewhere.
Sure.
So yeah.
I've had to. Adapting is very hard for me, and I think with COVID, it pushed me to to adapt. So I'm a planner to the T. This is how things need to be. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. This is how we're going to do. And COVID said, who are you? Can you calm down, sit down, take it one day at a time?
Yeah.
And that's how I've had to learn that, you know what? Sometimes things don't go my way, but it's okay. I just need to do what I need to do. So COVID has really taught me that. But no, I wouldn't easily adapt. I'm not
Really?
one. No.
I am such an adapter.
Is it?
Yo,
It's
I
like,
love
okay,
it.
so Gunje.
Okay.
Azish. It's
Yeah.
but I mean, it can have its perks and it can have its downfalls as well. But for the most part, have a best friend or a friend that's an adapter.
Yeah.
Keep them close to you.
Yeah.
'Cause, life
Yeah.
will always be going.
Yeah.
Life will always be going.
And Lons, I think, you know, when you speak of being talkative, I remember being in a relationship with some guy, and we met up with friends, and I was going on and on and on. And the whole time, Jay, he was just looking at me, and I'm like, oh, maybe he's just observing, you know.
Yeah.
Wow, look at this powerhouse. Look at this powerhouse that I'm with. How? Then the person is like, yeah, no, I don't think you know your place.
Ooh, what?
I was like, what did you say? Says, no, I don't think you know your place.
Where's my place?
A woman speaks when they are spoken to. You don't just speak. And I just found that you were talking the whole time.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
So basically, just know your place. And I remember thinking, Demo, you have to leave this relationship.
Of course,
Because
yeah.
I don't think that this man can see who you are and what you can do with your voice.
That's
Basically, that's who Demo has always been. Like, I actually want to be an advocate for people who can't speak for themselves. You know, I should be able to go, no, what's happening? You can't speak for, okay, let's go.
Can I tell you something funny?
Yeah.
Last week, that early, someone said, I think you should consider becoming the spokesperson for power. People opposing women opinions. And I think your story like totally resonated with me, because at that point I was just like, nah, buddy, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Because I think when you are talkative, you become scared of your voice, because you become, a lot of the time, people don't like it.
Yeah.
You know, they don't like a woman who speaks up
Who's
and
vocal.
everything else, who's vocal. So it's very good for you to, I think I'm becoming protective now of not changing who I am.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So sorry about that.
Well, he's out. Exactly.
Sorry for him.
My husband is actually behind the camera, and he's probably thinking, yo, ngaze ngawina. Ngaze ngawina bakithi, because phela, you know, another man's loss is another man's win. Why did you start your company? In fact, Langpale, how did you start your business? But I'm like, I think the intention and the reasoning should be why. Why?
I was good with my hands.
Yeah.
I'd always, it was between two things, actually. It was between architecture and fashion design. And I thought, why must I wait for so long just to see my bricks, go up? So I chose fashion.
Yeah.
But I loved making clothes. I loved making clothes, so I knew, okay, there's potential here because I can do it.
Yeah.
And when I started, obviously you start making the doll clothes and then I remember in high school I started making clothes for myself and my friends. Then I was like, okay, Nthabi, you can get somewhere here.
Yeah.
And I would use my mother's sewing machine all the time.
And
It's amazing.
And did you always know that you want to do something on your own?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I've never had a desire to work for anyone. But my mother always said, even though you don't want to do something, you don't want to work for somebody else, there's so much power you can gain from starting out working
for somebody else.
Because you can't just be out here running by yourself and you don't know the ins and outs of the road that you're on. You know, you first have to learn it. So I took that. I didn't stay very long working for someone else, but I took that. But there's no deep reason as to why I did it. I just knew I was supposed to do it, so I did it. Yeah.
Wow, nice. Nthabi?
Amazing. So you're trying to think, why would you start? Why did it start? So I think it's multi-layered. I didn't I always was interested in layout. I used to get True Love, Bona. I used to, when Destiny magazine came out, I was like the first subscriber for Destiny magazine. Wanted to work in magazines. I didn't know how, but I knew that I just wanted to do this. So I remember in grade 5, we did like a career thing. What do you want to do in your career, whatever. I said I wanted to work in an advertising agency. I didn't even know. All I knew about advertising was Achimaroka, New Horizons.
Oh,
I had no idea what advertising, communications, I had no idea. But I remember very clearly it was in grade 5. And then the second project we had was to take a double a piece of paper, like the middle of a exercise book, and we had to create a paper called the Westville Times. And then I filled it up with like stories and all of the thing, and it just felt so good creating. So like grade 1, I'm actually thinking now, grade 1 I did that book, and then grade 5 I did this Westville Times, and it just felt like, wow, this is really cool. So when I got to, we were talking earlier about registering a company for the sake of registering a company. So I registered a company 18 or 19. I didn't even know how to get into business. Like, one thing I think people are not aware is like how absolutely blessed we are in this generation, or the young people in this generation are, because they actually know what to do, like, or the information is readily available. Before, I knew I wanted to have a business, but I didn't know how to do it. So I went and I did journalism, and I also dropped out.
I feel better.
For financial reasons. And then, but you know, when I was there, I realized like I couldn't at the time see how I could become self-employed with journalism, because the ultimate goal was to be self-employed. So I mean, it's not the reason I dropped out, but I'm just thinking, just looking back, and then I worked a bit, but what I started doing is people would say, hey, can you put together a booklet for me? And I'd go on Microsoft Publisher and do like proper invites on Microsoft. These things would be handed out. Then I thought, okay, let me just learn how to do this. So I went and I studied a course in graphic design, and I started now having this idea of starting a media company. So I had my first business was called Al Media, and but while I was studying graphic design, one of my lecturers was like, the Highway Mail is looking for a designer, and I literally finished it and I went and I started working. But every time I was there, I mean, I resigned and I went back, resigned. But at the back of my head, I was always resigning, saying, I'm going to do my own thing, I'm going to do my own thing. So it was only when I got to, I think I was working at Hurt and Carter, where I was actually starting to see, oh, this is what an agency is. So they had a little agency inside called Symmetry. And I realized, oh, this is the agency and this is what happened. And because of my reading, I was so passionate about telling African stories and speaking to brands like we need to speak to our people like at the intelligent level, and I feel a lot of brands speak down to the majority because they do not understand the majority. So my whole dream of Izinga was just to be like an African storyteller, you know, just to tell the story of brands to African people. So I think that is the more sophisticated thing to say is that I wanted to tell stories from an African perspective. But as to why I wanted to start the business, it is just because I think it was in me.
Yeah.
You know, it was just something that I was always an entrepreneur at heart. You know? So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so do you ladies feel ukuthi like it can, are you born an entrepreneur, or it's something that can be learned and developed in you? Do you feel that some people who are in business, it's because they were born to do their own thing?
It's a hybrid of the two. It's a hybrid. I think entrepreneurial thinking. I have a foundation like NPO, where one of the things I do is teach entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people are not exposed to it, and it's definitely something that you can learn and identify it, and you know, if you are exposed to it at a young enough age, then you can do it. I mean, if we look at people like with Muslim people, a lot of them have businesses for generations.
Yeah.
It's because they watch it, they observe it.
Yeah.
You know, at some level we need to teach it. So one of it is exposure, and one of it, I think, is just being born with the thing, because my parents are not entrepreneurs, and I don't really have entrepreneurs in my family.
Yeah.
But I always felt that I'd like to do my own thing. Yeah.
Sure.
No, she answered that.
Yeah.
Stick with your answer.
We're not going to add anything.
Right?
We're not going to add. We're not going to.
Gosh.
You know. And I'd like to know also which steps or processes did you find easy for you? Was it putting the brand together, like literally starting? I'm doing my own thing. This is the brand identity. You know, was it the marketing of it, or sustaining it? You know, which part of, because I mean, I'd like to think that, you know, there's different parts. There's, okay, all you need to do, you know, I met up with such a lovely woman who works with, they've got an organization called the Red Movement. And I was like, oh no, let's meet, you know, let's chat, because I want to tell you about her. And I feel like I've started, but I don't know how to then move forward, you know. And as she was listening to me, she's like, but you've done the most.
You start?
Yeah, you've started. You know, it is registered. There's a name. There's a brand identity. All you need to do is just fine tune what you need to refine and
Keep
do what
going.
you need to do. Yeah, you know. But for you and Nthabi, what was it that you felt? This part was one of the challenging parts from really just starting. Was it the administration of it? Was it, you know, just coming up with the brand identity, who you are, you know, and trying your best to be authentic, or was it really just the marketing of it?
There's three entities that I'm with. There's CMT Studio. There's Flare Supply, which I found as it was going.
Yeah.
So there was an identity that was there. I just jumped on and we kept going.
Okay.
Right. And then there's Falu, which is my own personal baby. So for me, all across the board, marketing, with all of them, I found, okay, I know now it's as easy as taking a picture and posting it or whatever.
But is it?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but is it? Because your conversation or your thing has to be consistent at all times. You can't drop the ball at one time. And with each thing, there has to be an authenticity. Yes. You know, with what you are doing, and your audience needs to feel that. So that was the vibe.
Yeah.
I lost my train of thoughts. There was the thing that kept, you know, holding me back. Like, okay, I've got these, you know, I've got the production down, I've got the admin down. I'm still battling with my finance situation and all of that, but this thing here is the one that's, holding me back somehow. And for me, I was blessed in that I then got a partner who understands marketing and understands the power of consistent marketing and a consistent message. So, I'm benefiting from his, from what he knows and how he does it. And also picked up, because now CMT Studio and Flare Supply, those are fine. Those are sorted with marketing.
Yeah.
Because it's a going ship. But now there's Falu.
Yes.
Falu is 100% Nthabi. There's no partner as they are in these other two, So now I'm in a place where, and I don't know if I'm answering your question, but I'm in a place now where I need to look at me. What do I like? Who am I? What am I trying to convey or say to Londi?
Yeah.
How is she going to receive what I'm saying? And how are we going to move forward together? Because you go on this journey with your audience. It's not like you take their money, you drop them and you go.
Yeah.
It's a whole journey, because you're trying to create a community of people that are going to go with you, And that's another thing with marketing as well, that it's not just on your phone and on a poster and you're done.
Yeah.
It's a community. It's, okay, who am I taking with me? Where I'm going. Is this customer in 50 years' time, is this customer going to look back and think, the experiences I've shared with this specific company? I know the people behind that company. I know the story behind that company, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
So it's, for me, I'm at that point, because I know with all these others, there is a story. And it's community-based stories,
Yeah.
Because whatever it is that we do with Flare, there's people. We've got a team. We've got a team. I don't know how many kids gravitate towards this brand because of the authentic message that it sends. We've got kids here in Durban. We're like, oh my gosh, Flare, we love Flare so much, and they'll come. They're always at this. When we had the studio in Umgeni, they were always there. They were always there. They didn't want to leave. Okay, we have to work now. Please go. But that's part of the community, and because these kids are here and they're close to you, so there's word of mouth that's going out, and we'll get customers. Joburg, I think in this last year, because we only used to deal with Durban. Now we've got people in Joburg who want to buy. We've got people, we're supplying a store in Cape Town. And it's mostly word of mouth.
Yeah.
It's word of mouth. It's the community that we've built. Because if I post something, Londeka's going to repost it. Londeka's people are going to see it. So for me, at the moment, my struggle is marketing. But I'm like, okay, cool, Nthabi, you've got a community.
Yeah.
So you can capitalize on that community.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'm answering your question.
You are. No, you are. You are, Nthabi. Which part of you starting Izinga did you feel, Uguti, this is a challenge? Or this was a struggle? Was it building the brand identity? Was it the admin of it? Is it the marketing of it, getting it out there?
Can I say all?
Yes.
Because I guess has its own...
Everything in starting... I don't find anything easy in business. I do it because I love it, and if I could, I would just create all day and not worry about the money, and not worry about all of that. I would be doing movies. I would be doing all these amazing projects, and then the money is like, oh yeah, by the way. So I mean, funny enough, with the brand identity, we change corporate stationery so often. And it was so funny because I guess we're creative. We're like, nah, I don't like this anymore. And now I'm like, we are not moving. These are going to be our colors for the next. We've got like 6 colors on there. But they all come together. I know the principles. I know how I want it to be, but I'm very out the box with a lot of things that I do. So yeah, I can say that all parts are difficult, and that's why I really hire people who can take care of the parts that I don't like. So the registration, I mean, I'm getting much better with the admin, like making sure my documents are up to date, all of that. I now know how to do it, but up until recently, I had someone who would tell me like a month before, hey, your PE certificate is run out, is expired, your SARS and all of that. So because I forget, like, I just make sure that, you know, I ask Tembagazi to just take care, and they understand me, you know. So they'll be like, yo, sissy, come on, now, I need this now. I need you to do this now, you know. And so that's how I have found it easier to work through it. Admin just sucks. It's something I hate it too. I hate it too. Admin is but I'm stuck with that for now. And then marketing my own business is very challenging. I do marketing other people's business, and I think it's that imposter syndrome of like also just feeling like I shouldn't put myself in the limelight. I should kind of, so like I've been very intentional. I normally wouldn't have accepted even this podcast invitation. I had like another interview earlier in the year. I have things that because I actually was intentional that I'm going to have to do this and put myself out there and put my story out there. But I find it very, very, very challenging marketing myself. I love marketing businesses. I love teaching people how to market their business and how to do it like without being so involved and the tools and everything else. And then you go to our social media and be like, oh my gosh, what's going on? What's happening here? What's happening here? I'm like, oh, you actually know what we're doing. Yeah. So I do find a lot of the things about business a bit like, blah. But I enjoy, all together, when all the parts come together, I love it when all the parts come together. And
because I think we don't really appreciate working for, or rather just these huge establishments or companies, because you walk in, there's a template, and there's departments, and everything just works, like it's synced, it works, you know. And it is when you leave or you realize, oh my gosh, I need to get my admin, you know, I need to make sure that I have my tax clearance, I need to make sure that I do my filing, and like just, it is so much. Whereas when you're working for someone, they do all of that for you, and you don't really get to appreciate. And that's why I always say that, you know, I always have so much respect for entrepreneurs and people who are doing their own thing, because it is so much. Like when I'm sick, I'm able to take sick leave, and that's it. When you are sick, then the business is sick. You know, when you take maternity leave, when you go on leave, then the business also goes on leave, until obviously you have manpower, you know, to be able to hold you down. But no, you're doing the most. You're doing the most. You're doing the most, and it's admirable.
I was actually laughing some time back during COVID. I was not sick, not one day. Everyone around me, cough here, I'm sick, I can't come, tests, this, that. Nthabi is flying. She's just living her best life. Now, and I had a team there. I had a team of interns, and I knew if I'm not there, things are still carrying on. Now there's no team of interns.
Now the flu gets you.
The flu gets me, and I'm out. But I couldn't. You can't be out, because if you're not there, it stop. Everything stops. So you work with your flu now. You carry on. And I'm lucky in that I'm working from home, so at least I can be sick at home. You know. But still, it's so annoying.
Sure. Okay. I always feel like sometimes, you know, like just as I've said, that I admire entrepreneurs, and I admire people who do their own thing, and I always feel like people tend to downplay that, that starting a business from scratch is actually hard work. So when someone has kept their business for going for a year or two, they've really worked hard. And I want to hear from you, what has your experience been like?
It's been hard.
Yeah, there are no words.
I don't know. Yeah.
Do you want to go?
It's a lot. Because there's things that, you're saying with registering, there's paperwork, there's, legal things that you also have to consider. And you don't know. Like, to be completely honest, I still don't know a lot of the things, but I don't know how to answer that question.
Yeah.
It's hard. But it's fun.
Yeah.
Which is
Is it fulfilling?
it is. It's fulfilling. It's fulfilling.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so you look past the hardness, and that's why maybe when entrepreneurs are being asked, what does it actually entail, you won't necessarily go into detail, because for you it's just every day. It almost seems normal for you, so you don't think, okay, I need to say this to smang mang because step 1 is this, step 2 is this, and they had steps, but you have to do them. I don't know how to answer that question.
The experience has been fun. What I got from you is the experience has been fun, fulfilling, but it's hard work because you're in it every day.
You're in it every day.
Every
But
day.
Something that I shouldn't forget, because I'm speaking to myself right now, is the admin. Because without all that admin, that company, that corporation that you registered, if you are not looking after the admin of that corporation, you won't have it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be gone.
Yeah.
So if you don't understand all the terms and all the paperwork and all of that, then you just in part or somewhere that you didn't, So we need to get. I need to get that. I need to be at a point where I'm like, okay, cool. I could be standing with Elon Musk there, and he could be talking all this, business talk, and I understand Ugutu.
Yeah.
So I think that's the thing that a lot of people come into business and they romanticize going into business, and when you get there, you're like, oh, okay. It's actually the textbook that they gave me in varsity. It's literally that textbook.
It is. I was speaking to a friend. So I registered my business because I seem to register businesses. 2017. But I was working as a freelancer. I was just like, I have a business, but I was freelancing. And then 2018, and then I went and I started working again. I went back to corporate. The job was one that I could not refuse. I was very, very happy. And then COVID struck. And it became apparent that I just need to get back into this. And the way God works, it's so amazing. The COVID had struck and we were working from home. A friend of mine refers me to her friend in Joburg who had opened an OK store in Durban and just needed me to help them do a flyer. So I see the flyer, I start talking to her and have a conversation. I see her work and I end up landing doing her social media for her store. A really good, a decent amount. She paid me really well, but I hadn't started working because I was trying to think, I am in a very demanding corporate job. And now I've got a retail account. And retail, you're posting constantly, you're designing. So I pull on my community of friends and designers and everything. And I'm like, guys, this is the gig that I have. If we do it, can we run with it? And they're like, yeah, let's do it. But before we even start, I get an email. My contract is meant to be renewed. I get an email saying, we cannot renew your contract. But the way God works is so amazing is when I heard that, I already had something. I had something. It was amazing. And I mean, it was nothing close to my salary. But I decided then, because remember I'd freelance, and but I decided I'm going to do this properly. I went with one client, one retainer client, and I opened an office. and I got a designer.
So,
I was like, let's try this again.
yeah.
And it's just been God, because the past 2 years have been probably the worst years for most people's businesses because COVID. But because I was in the digital space,
Sure.
and while I was in the corporate thing, it exposed me to so many things. It exposed me to coding. It exposed me to like just wanting to grow my skill and learning and, you know, all of that. I was so like equipped with that. And at the time, everyone was scrambling like, do you know how to do websites? Do you know how, because suddenly they all have to be online. And that's how my business actually started. And it's been growing. Now I've got 3 full-time employees. I've got an office, and we've been running. We pay the rent, we keep the lights on, and we pay salaries, you know. But the growth, what, you know, things come in and things go out. You know, the money comes in and it goes out. And I think a lot of the time we don't discuss. We think it's a lie when they say you only start breaking even on this X
Yeah.
year. You know,
Yeah.
you just think, not with me.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
but
know
if
what
you
I'm
want to,
doing.
you know, but if you want to do it properly, you need to make sure that you take care of what needs to be taken care
Sure.
of.
Yeah.
And then you will actually reach sustainable growth. So I think if people have that in mind, that going into business, I'm probably not going to get paid for a very long time. It's going to be payday, and you're going to pay everyone in the office and pay the bills,
And
and
that's
you're
it.
going to go home and maybe have a donut.
Yeah.
That's your payday for the month. You know what I mean?
It's true.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the thing about business. It's not easy. It can't be glamorized, but
No.
yeah, but it's so rewarding to see something that you sort of gave life to
Yeah.
growing.
Yeah.
To life.
Yeah. One lesson. One. Not 2, not 3, not 5. One lesson that you have learned from doing your own thing.
I'm very resilient. Yeah. Do you need me to expand on that?
You can if you want to.
Yeah, resilient. It goes back to being able to adapt.
Yeah.
Like she said, when you opened your business during COVID, we also opened our CMT
Oh really?
a month before the country shut down.
Oh my gosh. Fun times.
A month before, and then
Yeah.
Cyril was like, "Hey guys, shut.
No.
Stay in your homes."
Yes.
So packed up though, and at the time when we opened, we literally had 2 sewing machines, and yeah, that was it. So packed everything up, shipped it off home, and it was just me now because I can't have my partner there as well. It was just me
Yeah.
at home and my mother. And I had this huge. We just got an order the day we shut down. The day before we shut down, sorry, we got an order from a mask. So that's all we had. And Nakona, because I couldn't produce the masks at the demand that they were needed, so the order kept dropping. We went from a nice looking, delicious figure to just
It's
you're gonna be
dropping.
scraping
Yeah.
by type figure. So I learned then, okay, cool. Nthabi, manage what you have. What you have is what you have. You don't look to the left or to the right. It's not yours. That's here. This is the situation. So that's the lesson. Be resilient, please.
Sure. You, Lons?
Oh, so many lessons. Forgive yourself. I am very hard on myself. But I've learned that in business you make mistakes,
Yeah.
and sometimes what you don't know, you don't know. What you can't do, you can't do. Learn to communicate, and learn to forgive yourself. Yes.
One lesson.
I'm sorry.
Can write and not communicate. Learn to communicate
Yeah.
with people, because like I think I shut down. I'm gonna be alone with this. I'm gonna deal with this. If I'm having problem with staff, if I'm having problem with everything, I'm just like, I need to focus with the problem that's right in front of me. So what I've done is I've got someone who's an amazing young man who's helping me with managing projects and managing communication and stakeholder, engaging with stakeholders, because I realized that it was becoming a weakness of mine, that if things are getting,
You can't do everything by yourself.
Yeah. So, yes, this didn't go the way it went. Forgive yourself and keep going.
Yeah.
And try again tomorrow.
Yeah.
And if you apologize and you communicate your struggle, a lot of time the people are very open to being forgiving if your intentions are right.
Yeah.
And giving you a second chance where you can then prove yourself. Yeah.
Thank you so much for spending time with us. And we hope that you've enjoyed this conversation like I have. Please do subscribe. I always forget to say subscribe. Please subscribe. Please follow us on the socials. We're hoping to do an event very soon. A face-to-face live event for women, like-minded, but unique in their own way. Yes. Because we're not trying to create a cult yet. No. So I hope you've had a great time. So do subscribe, do follow us, do send us an email if you're looking for mentors, and we'll be definitely assist in connecting you with them. Bye. Hope you enjoyed this episode. To stay updated with new episodes and blog posts, do subscribe to this YouTube channel or our webpage, unashamedlyher.co.za. For more Q&A on previous posts, do watch the next episode. Enjoy.